Hi guys, it's Hinda and welcome to Cooking Fantasies. In today's video, we're going to be making this delicious apple crumble cake. It is so delicious yet very easy to make. You probably already have all the ingredients laying around in the kitchen and the end result is really amazing. You're gonna love it. So we will be baking this delicious and moist vanilla flavored cake. We will top it with a layer of caramelized apples and then we're going to top everything with a layer of crumble and bake everything all together at once. And without any further ado, and like always, I will be leaving you down in the description box all the ingredients you're going to need in both grams and cups measurements as well as alternatives. So let's get baking. And the very first thing we're going to start with is preparing the caramelized apples. And you're going to need about 2 cups of grated apples. It is better to grate them with the hands, but you can also use a food processor, to which I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice that they don't turn black. And then in a pan on a medium heat, add the butter, the vanilla infused sugar or vanilla extract, whatever you prefer to use, the milk and the honey, and stir everything together till the butter and the honey start melting. And make sure to keep stirring so that the honey doesn't stick to the bottom. Then add the grated apples and the raisins. If you prefer to, you can add some cinnamon. I didn't add cinnamon because I wanted to have only the apple and vanilla taste, but the cinnamon tastes also really nice. And then keep stirring for about 2 to 3 minutes till most of the moist is gone. Then remove it from the heat and allow it to cool till we need it. And now we're gonna go ahead and make the crumble because it needs to sit in the fridge. We're going to start by adding the butter. It is better if it's soft and in room temperature. It makes it easier to work with. To which I'm going to add vanilla infused sugar or vanilla extract, a pinch of salt, brown sugar, and almond flour. Then use a spatula to mix everything together till well combined before adding in the flour. And now finally add the flour and make sure not to overmix it. You're going to need to stir it just enough to combine it with the butter and the rest of the ingredients, then stop mixing already. And place it immediately in the fridge till we need it. And now it's time to prepare the batter. So start by breaking the eggs that should be in room temperature, and of course you can use either a stand-in machine or a hand mixer. To which we're gonna add the sugar, vanilla infused sugar, and I also added some vanilla extract, so you can use either one of them or both of them. And then whisk everything together till the mixture doubles in size. Once you have achieved this texture, we're gonna start adding the oil gradually while continuously whisking. If you are using a hand mixer, then add the oil on 3 goes while whisking in between. And then again, we're going to do the same thing with the milk. We're going to be gradually adding it while beating, and it is better if the milk is in room temperature also. Finally, sift in the flour and the baking powder, and I'm using just my hands and a whisk to incorporate it. You can also do this with a machine with the lowest speed. So this is the thickness of the texture of the batter you want to have. It shouldn't be too thin or too thick. It needs to be a little bit heavy because we don't want the caramelized apples to sink immediately to the bottom before the cake starts baking. So I have already prepared my baking tin by laying the bottom with some parchment paper. Then I just buttered and floured the sides. If you prefer to, you can also use parchment paper on the sides of your baking tin. And now pour in your butter. And now spread the caramelized apples that had already had time to cool down on the whole surface of the cake. And finally, we're gonna add the crumble layer that should have been resting in the fridge. So now that the butter has cooled, it is easier to work with, so add it in the form of small or irregular chunks on the top until you cover the whole surface. Meanwhile, the oven should be preheated to 180 degrees Celsius, that's 356 degrees Fahrenheit, and it takes between 30 to 35 minutes to bake, or till it's nice golden brown. When you take the cake out of the oven, allow it to cool for at least 10 minutes before you unmold it. And you can easily remove the parchment paper by peeling it off, but you can also serve it or place it with the parchment paper, it just gives it a more rustic look. And if you prefer to, you can add some powdered sugar and cinnamon on the top. And while it's still warm, you can enjoy it with ice cream, it tastes heavenly. And it also tastes really amazing with caramel sauce or vanilla custard cream or vanilla sauce. I hope you will be trying out this recipe soon, and if you do, please let me know how it turned out down in the comment section, or you can also find me on social media on Instagram or Facebook. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell to get all my recipes. I hope you liked today's recipe and you enjoyed watching the video. If so, please give it a thumbs up and see you soon with a new baking video. Happy baking!